All right. Oh boy. All right, now, how did I have this set up? There we go. Ooh. All right. So this is the final one, the last on this world. So I've since been working on a one of the worlds in 1.18. Um, so cool to see the new like terrain generation and stuff. So I finally gave this one up, but um, man, I'm gonna miss my creeper generator. My creeper farm's so awesome. Um, so I've been sitting here for about 15 minutes just getting stuff set up, and everything's going just fine. So, all right, let's get the cat comfortable so he stops bothering me. Here we go. Okay. Get up my animalytics over here. And boop. Okay. So I finally built myself one of these. I realized if I'm going to have wings, I'm going to need one of these. And this is new since the last video. There's a lot of stuff that's new. For example, the fact that I have wings. So after I was done rolling last time, that long base tour, this one's going to be significantly shorter. I went and I beat the dragon and did all that fun stuff. Got myself a full netherite set. Had a little bit of fun. So, anywho, this is what the house turned into, which I thought was pretty neato. So yeah, so my little town here really did turn into something. Most of the house is, of course, underground because I am a mole. So, so I did a lot of that. My God, there's so much lag now. Which is one of the reasons that I'm not playing on this world anymore. I created an absolute monster. It is not fun to play with this much lag, so I actually ended up kind of just knocking that off. And going for something a little bit lighter. So I have different design ideas in my new world. So, anywho, so just quick fly around here. There's my train station. There's my little village that I built. I've got 8 different villagers in there with 8 different professions. There is my greenhouse right here. And I actually ended up tearing down my old house just to make space. And see, I've got, oh, geez. I always forget that happens. That the glass panes, you can't really just walk on them. So, but the greenhouse, this is the only way to get in and out of it. So, I got this. This is a project that's never going to be finished. It's the power station. I was going to build a big power station in here. I thought it would be cool. I was going to have the lights, when you turn it on, kind of go around in a circle. I thought that would be cool, but never really got into it as much. And then in there, I had some end crystals that I thought would look pretty cool, with the lighting. But like I said, I just never got to it. I was really focused on getting that house built, and that was, significantly more important to me. Um, so we got that, and then the train station's probably my proudest achievement. And honestly, this is so 2012. Like, it's so 2012 Minecraft, but it's my design, and I thought that was really neat. Um, it's a lot of lights that just look really cool. So anyway, um, I do a how-to on that, but honestly, nobody builds train stations anymore. It's just me, and I built them because they're cool. Um, this is my kelp farm. So, and then I started building my docks over here, but I just never finished them. So, I mean, everything's about those projects that you never finish, and I just never finished it. Instead, actually, instead of doing that, I did this. Um, I built a pretty cool little house over here. Now, this is actually spawn. I found, oh, well, that was a violent landing. So this is spawn, and I always thought, it would be kind of cool if I could build a spot next to spawn that looked kind of like home. So if you ever die, you, you didn't do a good job, you don't have anything going on, then this certainly does make things quite a bit easier. So yeah, so this is the little spawn house that I ended up building, and I built this bridge. I wanted to try to make a cool bridge, and I thought that this was okay. It's still a little 2012, but it's decent. Um, it's probably one of the more decorative things. I'm trying to get better at building. So I just tried to kind of spread out my blocks and stuff, use different kinds of stone, uh, and then just build things that were pretty instead of just building stuff that's functional, which I'm super good at, but unfortunately that the whole just building for function doesn't really look that nice. So, and the same thing with this house. Like, I did a lot of things on this that I'm actually pretty proud of. It's me getting a little bit better at this game, making things look a little bit cooler. That never worked out. I never watched a tutorial on it, and I should have, but it was supposed to be just like a bone meal generator, and I didn't do a very good job with it. So, so this is where people sleeps, and then this was free stuff box. And I just put stuff in there that I found, whatever that may be. This is all loaded up with kelp, ready to go. And there's kind of a little bit of everything for you. And I never did put my guest book down, but I was going to have people sign it when they came in. I thought that would be kind of cool. And there is a chimney on the back, whoop, right there, that I thought was pretty neat. So I just thought it looked nice. It was nice and kind of centrally located. The problem is that I did a very terrible job with my spacing on it. I don't want to redo the windows, so yeah, those shutters don't look real hot. But if we're gonna be nitpicky, whatever. But I'm certainly not going to be nitpicky right now. So so yeah. So this was a little project of mine, just to make something that looked nice. And yeah, so, and then in case, and what's funny is I never actually did die to need it. But yeah, this was my little kind of nice little house project, and I was really proud of it. Um, just real quick, this was the first train line that I ever built, and I kind of had forgotten how they worked. I had a really difficult time remembering how this worked. So it was a big fight to figure out how that whole ordeal worked. And so this one basically goes all the way across the water, but it's on the water, so now you can't get a boat through it. And I never tore it down and built a little like drawbridge or anything. So this track right here had a creep explosion, but that goes to my desert that I got all my sand from, so that I could use glass for absolutely freaking everything, because I love glass. So, and then I just had a couple of like miscellaneous chests in this little house, but this was my first extraneous camp away from base. And this was my first little train station away from base. And I never did rebuild them. All of my train stations were different, every one of them, a little bit different. And I actually was pretty proud of that too. I never did a design twice. I took some ideas and used them twice because they worked really well, but I never did an idea twice. So just to give you an idea of how much glass I use, when I say I use a lot of glass, like, I'm telling you the truth. So, let's see. There we go. So this is completely cleared out of all sand. I mean, this was a lot. This was a lot to do. So all the way through here, all the way up there, all the way over here, like I cleared all this out. And then the only thing that I was really sad about was I really wanted to go and explore all the caves below this, because there's a lot of them. And I never really did it. And that is something that I regret a little bit. I bet you I could have got a bunch of cool stuff out of it. That being said, it is an absolute mob farm. Like, it's just dirty. It's so many mobs. And it's all the time. As soon as it gets dark, they're just everywhere. So there's that. How am I doing? There we go. Okay. Let's see. I'm not going to be taking any trains or anything today. I do want to, let's see, do I have a boat on me? I don't even have an ender chest on me. Boy, this is pure planning. Anyway, I will need to get one of those, but actually, you know what? I'm just gonna go. This is my last time hanging out here, so I'm just gonna steal one of my own boats, because it's my boat. Oh, that was a lot. Okay. So, there we go. Now I have a boat. Gotta go sit in the butt. Alright. Okay, I can get back home. And we're just going to do a quick trip to the Nether so I can show off those tunnels real quick. So I didn't realize how the Nether worked until my new world, 1.18. So I've kind of done a little bit different work with how the Nether works there. Oh, good, a cow. So that works a little bit differently now. Like I figured out how things went. Like you have to be, I think it's 128 blocks away from it, through the Nether, so that you can build another portal. And that gets you 1,024 blocks away in the overworld. So, but this right here, this spot, and I'll show you where it is on the map. But yeah, because I notice a lot of times I'll be watching videos and they don't really show you how far it is. Like, it is so far. So I built myself quite the little deal here, and it works really, really well. Gets me where I need to be, in a very short amount of time. So I've got this one here, and then there's one right there on my left, and then there's, let's see, there's this guy on the right there that goes to Mike's, and then this is mine. So that being said, all of the Nether Fortress and bastions and stuff are all that way, and that is a run, but it's a run to another tunnel, so that part's nice. Oh, get some water. All right, and it's dark. Perfect. Okay. So let's see. So I've built this right here. That is my Phantom Farm. I've built a new one in 1.18 that actually works significantly better. And this one's fine, but it's not great. And building it again, I would never use a water column again. Like those water elevators, there's no reason to have one of those in there. It's just a waste. So it's a waste of time and it's a waste of space. So yeah, so we got that. This is my barn. Barn's pretty fleshed out at this point. So I've got all of this and the meat freezer down below. And I did take some hay bales out from the top so that I could do some building. But basically, if you can farm it, it's in here, in those chests. And then wolves have spawned and murdered so many of my things. So like this was full of chickens. Now there's one chicken. This is full of pigs, and all the pigs are gone. This was actually full of sheep, and I bred a couple more, but that's about it. And of course, cows are like immune to everything except for a sword. So yeah, so I did that. Let's see. I got this here is my tree farm. I built a tree farm. And I figure just with the amount of stuff that I wanted to build. Now this was significantly more in depth, but what ended up happening was I tried to build this super intricate one where I had 6 different positions and then I had dispensers, and I was trying to be able to automatically hit them with bone meal, and it did not work. Only 2 of the trees grew out of all of the trees, and it was really disappointing to me, and so I ended up taking it down. And that, that was a little sad. Just I put a lot of work into it, and then just to have it not work. But it is what it is. So it doesn't always work. Sometimes it's an experiment. And then this is just a little. Oh yeah, I forgot I built it out of slabs. Oh, I'm such a poop. Okay, so what the? Oh, it's a witch. Okay, goodbye. Alright, so, and then this is my barn. This is kind of when I started to get into a little bit more design. And I also figured out I am not bad at roofs. Like, I'm not good at the detailing around the roofs, but the way that I can make roofs slope and function is actually pretty good. I'm pretty good at it. So, like, this guy here, I have a train station that Mike actually hates because it doesn't go exactly where you think it's going to go, so it's really difficult to get around. But this roof I thought was really cool. Like, I did a really good job with the slow slope, measuring it out, making sure that it went, and also these 2 are different sizes, so it kind of gives it a little bit more interesting of a look, and I thought that was really cool. So there's that. Let's see, do I still have my bow? Yeah, the bow of murdering. I do. Okay, I don't need that anymore. So what do I have? I forget what I named all these. Paul Bunyan, McDiggles, McPickface, Midas's Touch, Asahater, and Heracles breastplate. Okay. Then I've got Tar Heels, the Pants of Invulnerability, Cliff Secord, that's the Rocketeer, and Tet Protection. Those are all of those pieces, and I have lost quite a few over the amount of time. My new play in 1.18, I've only died once, and it was because I was a complete idiot, and I may or may not have flown into the side of a mountain at full speed. Yep. So anyway, and it was right at my house. So I spawned and then immediately just got all my stuff again. But it still sucked. I lost like 40 something levels out of it. And that part's no good. So this is another example of those roofs that I wanted to be able to do something a little more with this, but I never ended up doing anything with it. Once I got to a point that it kept the rain out, I was like, okay, well, this roof's done. And then let's see. So yeah, so you can see here, this is the final shot of the base. This is what it looks like. So over the top, you can see where everything is. Got my helicopter landing pad. Here's the bigger shot of it over here. But yeah, it ended up sprawling out quite a bit. And still, when you go to the super big map, it doesn't exist. It does. No matter how big I build anything, it doesn't seem to show up. I did find a woodland mansion, so it is about 15,000 blocks away, so we won't be going. But that was fun to find. One of those things that I can look forward to building some other time. So yeah, just to give you an idea so in case you saw the other episode where I toured this base, because this was the original base, it was just the basement of the lighthouse, and I stripped it. I completely stripped this base. It is completely gone. All of the mechanics for everything are gone. I kept the train station stop for it, but I didn't install a new one in the new base. The elevator still runs, but that's it. I stripped out the iron doors. I stripped out all the redstone for everything. There is nothing left here except for like some legit mechanical stuff. That's the only stuff that I left. This was the map room. The map room is torn apart. There's nothing left. Very purposefully. I'm done with this base, and I wanted to be able to use the resources on the new base. So yeah. So that's how that's running. You know what? I don't have time for this. I'm just gonna leave. You'll die of old age. Okay. So then down in here, you can see this was the Fortune Area 1.0. So what I would do is I'd silk touch everything, bring it all back, and I'd line it all up, and then I'd hit it all with a fortune, with Midas's touch, and I mean I didn't even have efficiency 5 on this stuff. Wow, I've gotten significantly better since this. Okay. So anyway, this was the original spot for that, and I have a better idea of what I did in the new base that I'll show you in a sec. But yeah, I stripped out the enchanting room. I stripped out both forges, so there's nothing there. This is completely gone. The only thing that I haven't taken out are all the chimneys up top. The chimneys up top are all still there. But yeah, all of that's gone. Everything's gone, man. I moved it all, and now it's into like superhero territory at this new base. I'm so excited to show you. Okay, so here we go. I want one of these. Here we go. Okay, and my controller's getting low, so that means I only have, well, I have plenty of time. So, always close the door. Alright. Oh yeah. I'm not sure if this was on here or not. I think it was. Yeah, so I have a treasure room now. Up here. Where I got all my treasure, all my totems, a bunch of emeralds. I got some H copper. What's in this? Oh, and crystals, yeah. Okay, so I can respawn the dragon if I want, or murder things. It's up to me. It's up to me, they're mine. And then up here in the actual lighthouse, you can kind of see the whole base. It's my light post in the middle. And the lights actually, down below, those lights actually travel around, but in Bedrock they won't do it for very long. Like they do it, but then when you unload the chunks, they often will stop doing it. So, oh yeah, and I had a combination lock. And I don't know exactly everything that I had on my old video. So I'm just gonna go show that off real quick. Boop boop. Not that one. This one. Okay. So, yeah. So that's the, I mean, don't get me wrong, that was quite resource intensive, and I never did anything with this, and it looks like poop, and that makes me a sad panda. But the, I never got a better idea for that chandelier than that, and that's sad to me, because I could have come up with something significantly better than that. So, so yeah, I've got a, you know, this is my combination door, so it locks up with copper when I'm done with it. The redstone really wasn't all that. It took forever, just because it was my first time doing it. But realistically, it's not very hard at all. You know, I just did this. I just took that output and then ran it like that. That is dead center. In the lighthouse. I kept dead center. I have little measurements around the entire place so that you can see where dead center is all the time. But let's see, no reason to keep these on me. Let's see, what did I do here? Must have been this. Okay, and badoop. Whoops, can't run those. Yeah, that's gonna have to be my least favorite part about Bedrock, is the offhand is like useless. It's good for maps, that's about it. So, okay, there was nothing in here. I used to have a bed in there. I used to just keep. Okay, so let's do the house real quick. And then pretty much done. Pretty much done. So, yeah, we got nether brick and jungle wood. Nether brick I'd never gotten. It took a really long time for me to get that. I just didn't even think of it. So yeah. So all quartz inside. Quartz bricks. We got my kitchen. Got a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Got my refrigerator where the light turns on when you open it. It's like embarrassingly proud of that. There's no reason to be proud of that. It's Jeeves. Jeeves is a good dude. Jeeves keeps me safe. So, here's my brewing room. I got this all there. You know, a little bit of everything in here. You can see the lag start to hit. That is an infinite water source in the floor. That way I can fill up bottles and do that kind of stuff. So I got plenty of bottles, plenty of potions. I'm pretty much just jacked up in here. So got a bunch of brewing supplies, things, you know, that I want and need. is my library with an enchanting setup. It's not very fancy, but it has everything that I need. So I've got that. Um, some lapis and some books, and then these. Let's see. These are all books that that I enchanted that I wanted to keep in case I needed to enchant stuff. So got that. Got an ender chest in like pretty much every room. This was going to be the smoking room. It's going to be like the study. Um, so did that. Let's see. These are all carpeted, and I did like floor, like inset lights under the carpets, so that I didn't have to hang stuff everywhere. Oh yeah, I forgot. In the kitchen, I thought that was kind of a cool thing. Even though the chains don't line up super well, it is nice to have those tube lights in like the kitchen. I think that looks pretty cool. I used blue glass everywhere, crimson wood and acacia in this room. That looks surprisingly good. Like I actually really like that, and I used mushroom for the top. I just thought that was kind of cool. Prismarine ceilings around here just because they go so well with the quartz. In this room, I randomly have that is actually set up like a half block above. And I was thinking it was for brewing purposes, you know, so that you can let the smoke out. But then I realized how dumb that was. So it just doesn't make any sense. But these look kind of cool inset like that. So using stairs and getting those around, and then using those to kind of inlay in. And I used acacia around the sides just because I needed to put something in there. I don't necessarily like it all that much, but it works. And then over here, I got my free stuff. So these are just things that I've unenchanted from the end, just to get the experience. And so I just left them there for anyone. And this is the adventure room. So this is where I got all the good stuff. If I ever need anything, I can come in here every time before I go on an adventure. Come in here. So I've got a full set of. It's kind of funny that I named those diamond boots. So I've got like this is the better part of a set anyway. I had a pressure plate here, and Jeeves kept walking around, and he would walk in and he would push one of these once, and it would spit out whatever it was, and then it would despawn because I didn't know that he had hit it. So I lost the helmet that was in there, which was kind of a sad thing. And then over here I was gonna have just like super good leather armor in there, and I was gonna call it casual clothing. And I never really ended up getting to that. And then that was a miscellaneous guy. So let's see. And then this is the map box with the spyglass. So the reason that I attached a spyglass over here is because when you get up close and you're trying to look at stuff, a lot of time the writing will get in the way. But if you stand back just far enough to get that out, then you can actually look at these pretty good. So yeah. Oh, and I thought that the ceiling was kind of cool in this. It looks like it's kind of dropping down away, and I considered putting more of the warped trapdoors around that, but I never did. I don't know. I don't think it looks bad at all. I think it looks okay. I just build in so many squares. It's just difficult. So anyway, the number one thing that I noticed about this world that I am in is the sheer volume of water and tiny islands. Like, look at that's a whole map just of tiny islands and water. This was a really cool. This was a cool map. And I want to say 90% of this map I uncovered on foot, because I didn't really get my wings until later. Now you can see like these Mushroom Islands right here. Those guys, those are after the 1.18 update. And one of the things that really bothered me when 1.18 came in is I know they did their best, but look at this right here. Like, look at that. Like, it's just started generating in like really weird. Like some of these lines and stuff that were made, um, it doesn't work, and it's one of the reasons that I moved on to a new world. Uh, it just it was annoying to me, and I didn't have to stay, so I'm not gonna. Um, but yeah, like this is all that little base camp that we went to that I said was my first one. That's that right there, and this is us right here. That's the lighthouse right there. Or that's actually this house right now. Um, and then the train line goes all the way out to there, and it goes all. Let's see, yeah, it goes up to here. That's the sand pit, and then let's see, we went all the way up to the north, and the reason that we have one right there is because there's a temple. There's an ocean monument. There you go, right there. So that was pretty easy for me to just kind of jump in and knock that guy out, which I did. Um, that right there, that's a skeleton spawner. I found one and created a little XP grinder in there. Um, that's Mike's, I think. Yeah, that is my zombie XP grinder right there. And let's see, that is where I have my mending villager. It takes forever to get to him. Totally worth it. And then this right here, let's see if I can figure out where this goes. Yeah, so this is the ice highway. So the ice highway goes all the way down to here. That's a little town. And then right here, there's actually one more station that I never put a map in. But it goes, I mean, it goes all the way from the north to the south. So that's pretty cool. Um, when I showed you where we were on the when we went to the Nether and took that portal, or and I said that this is this portal on my left here. Well, this is where we are right now. Um, our Nether portal's like right next to us, basically, on this map, and the other Nether portal that we showed off was right there. So, you can get quite a distance in very little amount of time. Or is it this one? No, it's this one. Yeah, it is. And then there's another one in there that was that one. So yeah, all the way out. So, so yeah. And then I was gonna, load this all up with new enchanted armor, and I didn't. So whatever. Okay. Now to show you the fun stuff. So I hope you don't think that this was the cool part, because it wasn't. The cool part is all downstairs because I am a mole. This is my bedroom. Okay. So, outside. First of all, right here. This is the elevator that goes into the basement. But since it's not the fun way to do anything, I didn't ever dress it up. So, this. Okay, here we go. That's it. That is the entrance. If you don't take the elevator. But this is the entrance, and I thought that this was super cool. I really, really liked this. I was super happy to do this. And I really like, for the most part, the color combination. It doesn't really work 100%, but I actually do kind of like it. There's a lot of little critters in the walls and stuff. So anyway, yeah, so this is the honey farm. And you can see that right there shows you how laggy it is. I mean, it's pretty bad. There's just too much going on now. So, but it works great. And so I got that, and I was going to take all the honeycomb. I was going to make honeycomb, and then do the ceiling with the honeycomb. And I think that would have been cool. I ended up not doing that. Just time. So yeah, so there was that. And then I've got my dripstone farm in here. Now, one of the things that I found out about this dripstone farm was that I think it's like this line here or this line here, one or the other. There's a chunk border like right there. So if sometimes like it'll only generate or it'll only start farming like up to here just because of where I am. And I don't know where I stand normally, but like I only get drips. Oh, there's one right there. But I'll only get dripstone generating up until about that point, which kind of sucks a little bit. This is one of the coolest things that I built. So when you go in, I get conduit effects. I built a conduit outside, in the water outside, and this is a kelp farm that exists right next to all my furnaces so that I can smoke it all. You can spend an infinite amount of time in here because I have the conduit on, and I think that this one was really smart, and I will always do this in a base. This was a super good idea, and I'd recommend it to anybody. I think that was a big brain move by me. I had to rub all the brain cells together to get that one to go. This is my workshop, and I never did anything with the workshop part, but I did think that the build was pretty cool. So I've got kind of a lava river that comes down, and it goes down into the floor, and you can see it actually kind of comes out there. Got a couple of campfires under there to make it smoke. And then I've got all the things in here that I need. The only thing that I actually really wanted to add was an anvil replacer. Truth of the matter is, I'm not really a big anvil guy, so I don't use them all that much. I kind of use them, and then I don't die very often. I don't lose a lot of stuff, so I don't really need to use it all that often. But anyway, yeah. So, and you can see every time I look in that direction, it starts to get a little laggy. All right. So, dark prismarine looks super cool there, and then I did, let's see, black concrete powder and obsidian, I think. Right? Is it obsidian? I think it is. Yeah, that's not blackstone, that's obsidian. Yeah. So we did that. This is a generic storage room. It was just stuff that I didn't want to put through the sorter, or stuff that doesn't stack, or stuff that only stacks 16. I'm just not playing with it. I got what I need. So I don't need to try to force this stuff into the big one. But this over here was going to be an auxiliary room just for colored concrete. So I was going to have all the colored concrete over there. And I did think that this looked kind of cool with the basalt. I like the way that basalt looks. It's just difficult to fit into a build. Like, pretty straight up. Doesn't look like anything. So, what was in this? Oh yeah, and there's all the concrete. Okay. So yeah, that was the concrete that I was using to build the bee farm. So smelters and furnaces in here. I really liked what I did with the ceiling in here. I thought that was really cool. Used just redstone blocks in between, and that kept the lights on, so I didn't have to use anything else, and it looks cool. It goes with the aesthetic pretty well. I used a lot of walls, and I alternated walls and fencing along the back ends here, because I thought that looked pretty cool. And then I was telling you earlier that what I would end up doing was silk touching everything, bringing it back, and fortuning it. And that's what I did here. So this is the 2.0 of that little obsidian spot. So basically you just stack everything 3 high on both sides. It's 6 per rack. And you could get 2 stacks of blocks into this. I thought it looked super cool. Then you just come in and you take fortune and just fortune the whole thing, and everything would go really well. I had, let's see, this is just ore that, whenever I decide to get bored or whatever, I'll just pull out a couple of stacks, fortune it all, and then smelt it right up, or put it where I need to. And that was that for that. Um, in here's smoking room. This was all for the kelp. So anytime I came down here and spent any kind of reasonable amount of time, I'd go harvest the kelp because kelp grows like kelp. So, and I just kind of, evenly distributed in here. I never did the auto with a minecart or anything, although I am considering making a super smelter in the new world. I think that'd be kind of neat. Gray glass over andesite. Gray glass over andesite. Looked pretty cool. And then I think I did blackstone down here, if I'm right. I might be right. This could be deep slate. I have no idea. I forgot. But there was more andesite in here, and I actually cut a lot of it out and put those black accents in because I actually like it better. So this is the final form of the reason. It's probably the other best thing that I've done in here, and also the worst decision I've ever made. So you can see how cool this is. Like, this is just so super cool. This is wild. Okay? Like, this is insanity. It took so long. Just mining this out took so long. But I really like the design that I did around it. I really like doing the white concrete up behind the, I think the Blackstone, up there. It's just the coolest thing. So, these two never worked, so I removed that stuff. We did that. Put anything you want in there. These are things that couldn't put in, but didn't want to put away. And then, I mean, you can just see, this is absolute bonkers insanity. I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm proud that I did it, but honestly, it is so laggy that it's no longer fun to play. And it sucks. So yeah. So I think that's pretty much my whole base. And this is it in its final form. I mean, I'm not going to be building this base anymore. But the amount of time that I spent on this, amount of effort, and how much I progressed, I mean, I'm so much better at this game now. And I'm glad that I'm doing a 2.0 version for myself, where everything is just a little bit more efficient. Everything works a little bit better. Everything looks a little bit better. It's the right thing to do. So yeah. So thanks for chilling, and well, I'll be getting back on again in the next couple of days to do tour, maybe some adventuring. I basically do a few things, and I try to limit myself to just a few things that I'll do. So I'll either go doing, adventuring, where I'll just kind of go out and collect stuff as I go. Or I'll go spelunking. That's when I just find a cave and go. And then if I want to keep going, I'll just keep going. I'll go mapping, where I'll take a couple of maps and I'll go reveal them, and build little hutches along the way, little adventure cabins. Or I'll go building. I've recently started doing end busting, which, you know, end busting is a lot of fun. Like I really, really enjoy end busting, but it's very stressful. Like one wrong move, and you know, boom, it's over. So, so yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Same with the Nether. Like I really want to go back. I want to build a blaze farm. It's something I've never done, and I think that would work really, really well. I want to build an Enderman farm in the end. I need something that'll give me more consistent XP because I hate being down on it. And right now I've got a skeleton farm and a poorly built um, mob farm. So hopefully that'll get better. But okay, well, thanks for watching, and we will do it again next time, except different, new world. Have a good night, everybody.